Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Jay here, aka Mojo Sports, coming at you guys with the Collector Podcast, episode 10. We got the follow-up to the Nat Turner podcast, and I'm here with my boy Ben, aka Garnett Sports Cards. What's good?
What's good, brother? How you guys doing? I'm glad to be on the podcast in the Mojo Sports realm and be able to be here and shoot the crap with the homies. So.
Hey, bro, I see you, man. You got those Post Malone vibes. I was going to tell you, I love listening to your podcast. I actually listen to Ben's podcast, Henny Benny. I'll be sorting cards. I'll be, wanting to list some stuff, and then I'll listen to his podcast. I told him I don't really like listening to podcasts, but I love your energy, man.
Dude, I'm just saying, it's the same way. There's very few podcasts I really enjoy listening to, and your way of doing it. Big fan of Philly Cards 25 as well. Big shout out to him. I mean, I love being able to see the passion that especially you have, man. We've been friends for God. We're old, man. We've been around the block. So to see what you've been able to go from and become is a blessing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, bro. Hey, in the words of Mark's Cards, man, everybody eats. There's people that have come before you and I, Card Collector 2, RBI Crew 7, those guys that just modeled the way for both of us, man. And that's, to see guys like us that are able to do this and provide something for the community. I mean, how does that feel?
It's a blessing, honestly, to be able to look at myself and it's crazy. You remember my days of just graduating college and almost getting a job at the Sacramento River Rats or
River Cats.
Crazy River Cats or whatever. And I ended up taking a job at the Florida Collegiate Baseball League and going from that then 440-pound, wide, large and in charge, vulgar, insane Ben to then getting a life as real job and not knowing what I was going to do anymore and taking a trip out to St. Louis. I drove my hoopty, my 2001 Chevy Prism from New York to St. Louis to see RBI Crew 7, and he mentored me and gave me an option because I was sitting there dude, I just quit my job. What do I do? And he's like, I'll give you an opportunity. I'll give you a chance. And that's basically the start of Garnet Sports Cards. So to be able to have that in my life is a blessing. So.
Dude, that's amazing to build your brand. I mean, dude, bro, we start from nothing, bro. You and I.
The mud.
Ben and I used to do YouTube videos, and I remember the rant videos. I mean, literally, it's yo, what's going on YouTube? There, I got a huge rant video. This kid's a piece of shit. This is where he lives. This is this. F him. We're done. Everybody. And then you'd send all your little YouTube friends. There'd be 10 people, and they'd go and be like, hey, man, you suck.
You suck, dude. It was the early Call of Duty lobbies before Xbox and PS4 was really hitting.
Yeah, you live in your mom's basement. She's making you those freaking Hot Pockets tonight.
Let's talk about callbacks. I'm the king of AKAs. AKA my shorts look like sweatpants. I was called No Neck. Dude, it was rough out there. It was rough.
Hey, but look at you now, bro. I'm telling you, I relate. So you were 440, I was 320. We got that going, bro. And the thing I realized today is I know where I was, and you know what? If it can help somebody by sharing that, that's what's up, But at the end of the day, I'm comfortable in my own skin. Whatever happens, man. I'm so freaking overpaid in this community and in my life today, man. And that's just amazing.
Dude, like I said, absolute blessing to be able to wake up every single day, check eBay, see something sold, or check Instagram, see something sold, understand that you can turn Cameron Johnson Prism Silvers into a rent payment or a mortgage or groceries, and really take cards that, in my opinion, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, nobody cared about necessarily, and be able to take those cards and pay real life situations with them. It's a blessing. At the end of the day, it's a blessing.
And
so
upgrades.
it's amazing.
Upgrades too,
huge
man.
Upgrades.
Graduating your, that base rookie to a Silverado, to a silver, whatever, ruby red, whatever. It's amazing. You and I talked about this. We were a part of a YouTube community that we were tight knit. You were from, the East Coast. I'm from California. We had kids from Arizona, kids from New Jersey, and we all knew each other on YouTube, but we would just communicate through DMs. We were all in high school. Now, I mean, we're all in, like you and I, we're 25, 26. there is like a huge network of people, and I know it's bittersweet, but like, how do you feel about the community? Like I'm loving it. I love what's going on in the community, like in terms
You
of
know
the
what?
exposure.
You know what? I'm falling on the double edge of the sword here. I am so happy to know there are so many great new people that I've recently have just met. And it's people that I can tell that, damn, I really wish I met them a lot sooner, because I can tell the vibes, the energy, and that they're truly like brothers. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing to be able to see so many new people come into the community based off of the exposure that recently has just boomed. But the other part of it too is that the community, you know, I got to be honest with you, I was so cliquey in the beginning. Like, if it wasn't UJ, if it wasn't, you know, NorCal Graphs Austin, Lope Man, big shout out to my boy AR
Yeah,
Lope Man. If it wasn't,
fuck that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, fuck Austin. But him, Dylan, DW3 Ball on Instagram.
DW Ball 3, bro. Shout out. He's amazing.
Bro, shout out Dylan Tice. Or not Dylan Tice, I'm tripping. Dylan Whitford. Oh my lord.
Dude, the BGS Black Label King.
Dude, he was, I mean, a monster. Like, I remember going on Blog TV and watching the Click do Bubba Starling 9510 raffles. And Xander Bogart's purples, and Jackie Bradley Jr. and Gary Brown Jr. Shout out to the Giants, San Francisco. You know, Gary Brown.
Bro,
big
Gary
what's up.
Brown. Yeah.
Do you remember Gary Brown? Dude, I've been around the block from Blog TV watching those types of guys. Jared and another guy, it was like what, JW Monkey 27, guys like that. Like the guys I've been all able to meet 10 years ago. I mean, I have friends from a decade ago from YouTube, and you're one of them. So the community, to re-round it and go back, is such a blessing, old and new. And the exposure is so amazing to be able to have so many new friends, so many new networking possibilities, so many new marketing exchanges that you can do for your business, your brand, or whatever it may be. However, the exposure, in my personal opinion, that is really hitting the market is more detrimental in today's time frame than it would be 3, 4, 5 years ago. But that's also based off of my personal opinion, what's going on in the global climate, not politics, but, you know, COVID. But we don't speak about Voldemort here. But regardless.
All right. Well, you talked about clicks, right? I get it, bro. I was a grapher. I know how it works. When you're a grapher, when you're getting autographs at the hotel or the game, can't have too many people there. In my opinion, just saying, it was a little toxic at times. I'm going to be honest.
It was.
There's a lot of one-upping. But in the card collecting community, bro, I've been very inviting. Don't get me wrong. I've seen shit, all right? I've seen shit that I didn't like, but I just, hey, you know what? It's like an O-line.
Push away.
I don't involve myself
Lean back.
I don't involve myself around bullshit, bro. You want some bullshit, you leave that at home. I don't invite that in my peace of mind, in my circle. I surround myself around people that, you know, are good people, good vibes, you know. But I get it, the clicking. But now, wouldn't you say, like, it's honestly, bro, if you, like, from my experience, when I've invited all this in, it's been amazing.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, when you are open to change, that's when things are truly amazing. And I'm so with it. Like, I'm down. Whatever makes you happy at the end of the day, that's what makes me happy. I mean, I can't focus on other people when I have to focus on myself. But more so speaking, like, I think I'm more so concerned about the exposure relating to the longevity of these young or newer people in our hobby, in our community, especially when, obviously, me and you, like we said, we've been around the block. So when things were, you know, autographs and Bowman Chromes and patch autos and game used, you know, there wasn't a Prism base card that was chased. And now we're leaning more towards the base Prisms and the rookie cards, and the LeBron James Kobe Dunk Tribute base card being $60, $40. It gets to a point when you have to understand that sometimes exposure is so detrimental versus helping. And I'm worried more so about losing the people that we all love and just gained. because of the exposure on the market today. And that's where the community, I'm so happy. Like, I'm not trying to split the question. I'm so happy. I'm blessed.
100%. I see your point on that 100% because, from my experience, I mean, you would go into Walmart and you'd buy Mike Trout's 2011 update blaster, and you would grab that thing, you'd rip it. I didn't even know who Mike Trout was, if I'm being honest. Just rip it, pull some randos, pull like freaking, Dan Uggla base cards and just flip it around. And you'd look at the receipt and you'd be like, why did I spend $22 on a blaster? And then you'd be like, I'm not doing that again. And then like a little addict, I go in there and be like, maybe this time I'll hit the jersey card.
Maybe this time, yeah.
But you didn't give a crap about the rookies. You didn't sleeve them. You didn't top load them. You put them in a white box and you let them go. Or like from my experience, we'd get them signed, But
exactly,
that was the incentive, is you could get the base cards signed. That was the only incentive. That's why like everyone's like, oh, why did you keep all your cards? Why did you keep all your cards? I kept them because I was getting them signed. That's why I have all the cards I had from the pre-COVID days and I sent them in for grading, is because I would buy Trae Young's like by the boatload, like $2 each, just buy them all. So I could get Trae Young to sign them. I'm not like, I didn't have like an idea, oh yeah, this is going to blow up. It was just because of IP autographing, if I'm being real with everybody.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, and that was the thing too. Like, I remember when I was breaking, I mean, I've done it all. We've done Garnet has done group submissions. We've done PSA. We've done BGS. I've done breaks. I was a breaker from 2017 all the way up until 2020.
Dude, you were breaking a lot. You broke a lot.
Dude, I was pumping product out.
It was insane.
Weight. Like young homie move that dope weight. Like we were moving weight. Pablo Escobar weight. So,
hey, I get it.
When we were doing that though, Jay, this is the crazy thing about base and even inserts and even rookies. There was a lot of guys that would be regulars with me that would literally tell me, I do not want this. Do not send me this. Keep it, give it away, throw it out, whatever. And I had a lot of people ask me, how do you have all of this Prism stuff, right? Like, how with the market nowadays? I didn't buy it during the market now. It's been stashed, like you said, for years, whether it was my own personal breaks, me going to Walmart or Target being a degenerate and sitting there opening up Prism blaster by blaster, 4 months after it came out because it was still there. You remember that, right? Prism was still there.
Remember pack searchers?
Yes! That's what I'm saying.
Pack searchers. There'd be packs and you'd see all the packs scattered out because some fucking old raisin was in the fucking aisle, like fingering the packs, trying to look for a relic card and then sell it as a hot pack on eBay. Hot packs, I don't even think those are a thing anymore.
Hot pack, Heritage Clubhouse jersey, Tim Lincecum, $20.
Do you remember those guys, the pack searchers come, they'd be like, we're going to show you how to do it. Pay for our website, $19.99. We know how to feel up the packs. Just go to any of your local Target and Walmart. Pull the Dan Uggla jersey card and be happy.
Dude, homie would pull out like a 28-gram scale just to weigh it.
The guy would pull, dude, they'd pull out the rack packs. They'd open them like this and be like, whoa, the hands shaking.
Dude. I mean, like, we've seen so much stuff, man. And that's why when I told you beforehand, this podcast could be a decade long, just based off of everything that we've been through.
Dude, the shit we went through with what's going on now. I mean, I could say another one. Do you remember when the overseas people were faking the patches in National Treasures? They were throwing
God.
LeBron James Cleveland Cavalier like trophy little like fake patches into these cards that were selling for like at the time $1,000. Keep in mind those would today sell for like $5 to $10 grand. But that was
look at the reprint rookies now. Like Mahomes Silvers are
the Pokemon
$100.
The loot box TV, they exposed the Pokemon people.
Oh, was that the Charizard fake PSA 10 or something that you could buy?
They're gonna get sued, bro. Those people are done. They're canceled.
It's nuts.
The people that did that are thank God for Lootbox TV for exposing that, bro. That was wild.
Yeah,
those
big shout out to you.
Gin and Juice, bro. Those guys are amazing.
Shout out. Right,
so we get it. There's a ton of drama. I'm gonna dig right in since we're on it. Target has announced on Sunday that they are suspending. He's taking a sip of beer. Target is suspending retail, service. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, like, thank God. Like, how do you feel about Target in Walmart with this retail stint. Like they suspended the service. Like, give me your true thoughts on this whole situation.
So this is my like Ben's survival guide 101. Like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide on Nickelodeon. This is Ben's version, if you remember that, all right? So listen, everyone and their mother is either saying you're a hater if you disagree with the way people flip retail wax, or people are violently outside of Targets and Walmarts with the Glock, the Blick, the strap, whatever you may want to talk about. If we're from Philly, we can talk about the strap. If we're from New York, the Blick, the Glock, wherever. Like North Carolina, the baby, what's up? My point on it is this, is that when let me just be honest with you, all right? If I went to Target and I bought a box of Prism and someone fought me for a box of Prism, I'm running you over with my car. I'm running you over with my car, and then like GTA, I'm rolling back over you and then going forward. So my point on it, and the reason why I say that, okay, and the reason why we talk about running people over,
I'm tagging you on Instagram. Keep going.
Please do. Is this needed to happen? Y'all are acting a fool, going out and camping at 4 o'clock in the morning to try and get $120 play. Listen, if that's what you need to do to make your bread, to make your nut, you need to do it. I appreciate you. Keep hustling, young brother. But let me tell you this. If you think I'm going to snort a line of Xanax, I'm sorry if this is PG, but I got to be real. If you think I'm going to snort a line of Xanax and pass out in my car to get a 6:30 a.m. deadline on Prism Cellos and only get one pack, you're tripping. Tripping. Like, Moneybag said it best, Jay. Tripping is too close to falling, so what do? We ball, right? So my point on this, right, is with retail being suspended, I only see this as a positive. And honestly, this current global status that cards are in right now, I would hate to see a possible child or someone else innocent get in a issue because people are crazy. People need to also understand, I don't want to bring finances in the terms of global status America to this podcast. Nobody wants to listen to it, but it's really the point. We just went through a really hard time. Me, you, families, people we know. And there are people out there, which I feel like card people may not understand if you're innocent, but there's some really grimy people, bro. Really grimy. Like, they'll kill you for $50. And that's the way things are nowadays. And I just feel like, listen, if we're going to move off of why Ben's happy that retail suspended, like, cool, I'm happy that people are safe, but I'm more so happy that things can start to catch up. There's no reason why products like Hoops, Series 1 Baseball, Series 2 Baseball updates, Topps Chrome Baseball, Topps Chrome Update, Gypsy Queen Heritage, Allen and Ginter, all of Pokemon, the little like $10 packs you get with that's trash. There's no reason why those aren't on the shelves. Those should all be for people who are either A, introducing themselves into sports cards, or kids. Like, I take myself back to when I found retail. There's a ton of Series 1 Topps out. And I'm like, there's no sign, mind you, that says, like, only 3 at the time. I could have bought everything. And I'm sitting there looking at it like, do I really want to try and open 1 million boxes of Series 1? And I looked at the hockey that was on the shelf. I bought 2 blasters. And I saw a kid and his mom walk up, right? This is the best story I have for this retail garbage. Kid and his mom walked up, and I saw the kid look at me like, wow, I see all this stuff, and this guy's going to buy all of it. Like, he knows how it is. And I looked at him like, first off, I'm not going to buy all of this because no thank you. But no, go on. And he was like waiting for me to be done. And I'm like, do you want some of this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, sure, bro, grab whatever you want. And his mom said thank you to me. This is the problem. And this is why I'm happy retail suspended. So hopefully there's more production on certain things that allows a lot of newer guys and newer kids to be able to collect this stuff. I remember one of your podcast questions was, what was your first pack that you opened? 2005 Bazooka, bro. 2005 Bazooka. I pulled an Orlando Pace jersey card. I was like 10 years old, happy as hell, right? So happy. So why can't that be kids today? And I feel like people are saying like, oh, F them kids, blah, 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 let's make money. Like, if you realistically understand that you can't pull anything in heritage retail and you're only making $5-10 a box, leave it on the shelf.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get like the buy of tops, like baseball shit. Like, you buy it for $20 to sell it for like 28 plus shipping. I don't get that. Luckily, like, we're in a different time. Like, that's not gonna happen again. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna be real with you. In California, not where I live, but I apparently found this out. I guess in, like, you know, I'm not gonna say the area, but there's an area very close to me where they followed the vendor from the Target to his home and basically came out at him and said, hey, we're going to give you $1,000. Give us the locations. And the dude was freaked out. And they sat outside his house, and a line of cars followed this vendor throughout California. Like,
and that's the problem, bro, is when is enough enough? Like, do you really need to make $8? Like, I'm not trying to sound like
the scumbag stuff like that's a little, like, out of character, honestly. Like, it's just out of pocket. Like,
it's out of pocket.
Like, it's pretty weird. And then the guy in Wisconsin that pulled out the gun and like trailed some guy down for retail sports cards, like, it's not good. It's not good at all.
It's not good. And that's why I feel like the suspension is so good, because they tried. We went from everything to 3 to 1 to none. And it goes the same thing in high school, bro. Like, when y'all have your class trips canceled because some Momo window licker wanted to pull his pee-pee out at the class trip, all right, and it's canceled, you can't go anymore, it's ruined for everybody, is it not? So how many more pee-pees do we need to see to understand we can't do this anymore? It's such a childish analogy, but it's true. Honestly.
Greed's crazy, bro. I'm going to say it. Like, I don't personally go out and find retail. Like, I just don't. I tell people all this all the time. Like, I don't have time, bro. Like, you want to sell me a box? I'm going to spend $120. Like, I'm all right. You know, I don't mind if I want to, you know, get my indulgence and rip retail. That's fine. But,
yeah,
I mean, dude, it's ridiculous at times. And it, like, but hey, if that works for somebody else, that's fine. That's your thing. I know people that hustle retail and they take an RV and go all over Montana and Utah. It's fucking nuts, dude. It was a thing.
You know what? And that's great. But if I have to take a large excrement in a RV toilet to make my money for my life, I'm all set. Dude, I'm all good.
I just can't imagine, like, from 5 to 9 a.m., like, those are prime time hours for me to sleep, wake up, go to my office, grind it out, and actually plan the next trip. Like,
can I ask you a question? So, honestly, right, for you to make $100 off retail, how fast do you think you can make $100? Let's say you wait in line for 4 hours.
I said $12 an hour, 4 hours. I'm waiting out there. That's $48. Then I got to pay $20 for the box. We're at $68. And then what? I'm going to sell it for like $120. So I'm making, plus gas, just rounded up to 75 with shipping. I'm making $45 basically on each box. I mean, I'm surprised these people aren't on EDD or whatever, the unemployment, because I know people are getting paid fast in that. So, but then, hey, I will say this. I do know people that go for the retail and they actually rip it, you know?
I like that, though.
There's a little deterrent, though. Their PSA grading is, you know, out of the window. Yeah. So what people would do is, like you said, why would you buy hoops? Well, dude, people were buying hoops. They were getting the, not the LaMelo. I'm talking more the Zion stuff. They were buying the hoops and, like, grading it. People that were ahead of the game were grading it, getting it back, selling it, grading it, getting back, selling it. And then they were turning those into Jordans and Kobe's and everything else. And that's what I learned.
Great point.
Yeah, like, but in terms of, like, now, like, I don't know, man. Like, SGC, you know, they're doing their thing. I know people are resorting to that because the quick flip. What people are doing with SGC is they're grading the cars to SGC, then they're selling them. They don't. It's not about being in a tuxedo and it looking good. It's, hey, this is going to pay me some freaking capital right now so I can, you know, upgrade to something else, which That's fine. I don't personally dabble in SGC or any of those, but hey, more power to it. I know why people are doing it. The retail situation, I get it though. Okay, obviously for the kids, I will say like the kids are the future. Like everyone's like, oh, like you don't really believe that, do you? It's like, dude, yeah, bro. I was a kid. Like,
I was a kid.
Bro, I was in Dallas making deals with kids, like just to show them the art of the deal. I bought a Nico Mannion and a Kelly Oubre for like $2 to $3, and like someone's like, oh, you really lowballed him, and I'm like, no, I taught that kid how to negotiate a deal. He said 5. I said, hey, I would realistically pay $2. You know, if you give them a handout, they're not going to learn. How do I know? Look at Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban used to go to all those shows and dibble dabble and all that, you know. And it's like, you know, it's like you got to start somewhere.
I gotta be real with you though. Like I feel it so hard though, because people just don't understand that, you know, the more and more we ostracize people of lesser money in this hobby, the worse it will become. And the more and more we push away kids being able to ride their bikes to their LCS and open up a $5 pack of solid stuff that could have eventually led them to a $30 rookie card, is not that anymore. And that's the issue we face, because people need to understand.
Go ahead, sorry. No, you go.
No, but my point is people just need to understand that the more, excuse me, the more you allow newer, fresh faces to enter a community, the longer the longevity lasts. That's my point.
I like that. I'd say too, here's the thing. There is a difference between the good guys and the bad guys and like the okay guys. I don't know, I'm just joking. But the good guys, let's talk about the good guys for a second. So Slab Stocks, you know, I even think Card Collector 2 is going to hop on this. So Slab Stocks, Aaron and their family, I got to interact with them. He's doing packs for kids that they're going to give out in Dallas. And they're like Pokemon rookies. And they're just giving it out to kids because there's no retail. I like that. You know, I can see Ryan.
I like that too.
I think a lot of people will do that. I honestly am thinking about doing that too. But like just, you know, it is what it is. Like coolest experience I had in Miami, and I'll share this with you, and I think you'll get a thrill out of this, is these 2 kids come up and they're Dolphins fans. You know, they're with their mom, and man, I thought of myself as like a Sacramento Kings fan and like what it would mean to me when I was that age. But these kids come up and they want to buy these two optic rookies, and I had just gotten them. I got them for $25 each, or $25 for both. So they sell for like 10 or 15 each. So I told the kids, the kid just wanted one and the brother didn't want one or whatever. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll sell it to you for like $12. And then the mom told him no. And then they started crying hysterically. And then I was like, oh man, oh no. And then they walked away. And then I like grabbed someone from behind, like, please watch my booth. I got to go do something. And I pulled all these Tua Alabama rookies, and I grabbed like a stack, and I go up to the kids. And this is like, I didn't even need to record it. That's how you know it was so genuine. I go up to these kids and I'm like, hey, both of you guys, like, pick out 1 Tua each. You guys can have them. And I was like, this is a valuable one. It's a Prism, you know, college one. Take that. And then the other kid picked one. And then like the smile on their faces, bro, like, that was the coolest experience I had in all of Miami, bro. I don't care how much money I made, how many like videos and cool clips I took. That was it for me.
Yeah. So I have a few stories like that. And this is something that I've never shared ever. So you're getting the exclusive here. All right. My dad, and some people may know Papa Quigs from the YouTube videos on Yo Show Your Hits or Instagram. But my dad means so much to me, because without him, like, pushing me, like you said, you have to learn, pushing me out the door to go to card shows by myself, learn how to deal by myself, learn how to conduct business by myself. I started this at 12 years old, and that's what he was doing for me. And without him to do that, and even him coming to shows, he went to the Nationals. There's a bunch of vlogs that I'm about to re-release. I'm so excited for, but, you know, he was there. And I remember as a kid, you know, this is one of my best stories, right? My mom gave me $100 to go to my first card show. It was around my birthday, right?
That's a lot of money.
$100. First time, dude, this is back in 2007. I was like, dude, I don't know who you needed to rob, Mom, for this $100. I don't know how you're paid like this, but God bless. So she gave me the $100, and she said, make sure you bring me back home like 2 Diet Coke 2 liters, right? And I'm like, okay. And I go there, and I actually have the card right here.
Oh, this is sick.
And I go there, if I can find it. Look at me. Where is it? Anyway, my point being is, there it is. I go there to the card show, and I first table, bro, you're a kid. First table I see, and I see this Adrian Peterson rookie card. And I'm like, Adrian Peterson is my favorite player. 2007 AP, still have the jersey in my closet. Loved him to death. Watched him beat the record, all of these crazy things. I love him to death. One of my favorite players ever growing up, and a huge reason why, other than Dante Culpepper. Sounds like I'm a Vikings fan. I'm not. I'm a Giants fan. But Dante Culpepper, Adrian Peterson, O.C. Umenyiora, Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, Chris Canty, Antonio Pierce, Sam Madison, who we had for a hot minute. He's from the Dolphins. Guys like that is really what, watching football with my dad. I coach football. And that's what made me happy. The story is that I got $100. And it's this Adrian Peterson rookie jersey auto right here.
I thought it was going to be a fucking base rookie. That's amazing.
It's numbered out of 100. All right.
Bro, that's an amazing looking card.
And it's purple. This isn't the same card I had, but it's purple and then white, right? It's the same type of card, but different numbering. But listen, I had $100, and I go up to this guy, and I'm like, bro, I need that. I'm $1,200. Give me it. He's like, man, I don't know what I can do. Because at the time, this card was like $400. He's like, I don't know what I can do. And I'm talking to him about Adrian Peterson. I mean, I was such a stat guru as a kid that I was like, listen, like, huge fan, watched him play with the Sooners, went crazy, love him to death. He's like, you know what, man, I'll give it to you for $100. I went home and got my ass whooped because I didn't bring back 2 Diet Cokes. I love her to death. God bless my mom. She was so mad. She was like, are you serious? You just bought this and to get me my 2 Diet Cokes? But the story is, right, I saw this on auction, and I ended up picking it back up just for the story.
I want one now.
That, dude, it's disgusting.
I love this, AP, man.
It's literally the same type of card that I owned as a kid. It's just differently numbered. And this card is the reason why when I started to have the business and, really started to set up at shows, your story means so much to me. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for not recording it, making it into something that it's not. I'm so proud of you, Jay, because I was taught the same thing. When I was able to see kids and dads come up to my booths, be sports, not to bring it up to get clout, but I was at the National, the very last National in 2019. And I remembered stories like this card where a dealer gave me a $300 deal because I was an Adrian Peterson super fan. Back then, that's nuts. And this kid came up to me in Chicago, and after talking to Ryan and being taught RBI Crew 7, being taught the ropes and how to really do things right, especially when you come from the mud like me and him. And this kid came up, had like maybe $50. The card was like $200. I was into it for $80. It went up. I think it was when Kareem Hunt really popped off when he had the game against the Patriots.
Oh my God!
His rookie season.
I sold one of those autographs. I bought it for like $20. I sold for like 110, and you felt
instant.
It felt so good, and that was nothing.
Instant, but it was like right around that time, and I could tell he had where did Hunt played at Toledo, right?
I don't know where he went, but
he played some random college.
He's still
I think
pretty
it's
good.
Toledo. Something crazy like that, right? He had his college jersey on. So obviously this kid is not just some rando trying to catch a deal. I gave it to him for $50. And that's what makes the difference. And that's why I'm proud of you.
That kid could end up on a podcast and be like, "Lo, this guy from the East Coast sold me this card, and like it made me love this thing." Because you never know. I tell this to people all the time outside the hobby. You never know what kind of impact you're going to have on another human being. Whether you're filming something, you're interacting with somebody, you're just giving them your time and saying, "Hey, how was your day going?" You never know. Those kids can come back and be like, "Hey, remember that Mojo Sports guy? Yeah, he sold us those 2 Tuas, and we made $5,000. Woo! You know,
Listen though, you know what's crazy? I'm so old, but not old at the same time that I have kids I sold cards to when I was like 17 and they're 11. And now they're like almost graduating high school, getting into college. And they're like, I remember when you sold me a 2012 5-star patch card of Von Miller. And that's what really makes me feel like, you know, this community is so much like my family. I'm so translucent. You guys know, if you're watching this, you guys know everything.
It's very healthy.
And
dude.
That's why I love you guys so much that you're watching this and you're helping Jay and you're watching me and you're supporting, because without you watching this and watching my befuddled self and Jay's mastermind behind Mojo Sports Media, Mr.
Right.
Jeff Bezos in training, shout out my guy.
Yeah, right.
But listen, like, it's a family at the end of the day.
Dude, 100%, bro. Cents. I'm telling you, bro. Santiago Sports, MPT cards, South Jersey Sports cards, Beaks cards, Card Addict 76. You know, my boys, Stead cards, just
609 cards. Shout out
Jennings
to
cards. Like, bro, I mean, I travel with these guys, and like it is the battle of the minds together. And when you put everybody together, it's all networking. And here's the thing, people, if you go to a card show, please don't be a zombie. You don't say, here's my card, here it is for sale. I got it right here. No, you don't do that. You build a relationship. Hey, where are you from? Oh, you rep in New York. How is it out there? You make I wish people knew this. You got to sell a story. You got to create a story. Whatever you got to do, you network before you say, here's my card. Can you please buy it?
Yeah. I mean, like, I've had to learn so much from my cringe days that, like, it was able to
we
teach
all had
me
them,
so
bro.
much.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
it was able.
Bro, I got in so much trouble for making my rant videos. Like, it's so bad.
Oh my God.
I got in so much trouble.
I look back at some of the videos I made, and I'm literally looking at myself like, how this has not gone viral is beyond me. It's cringe capital. And that's why, you know what's funny? A large portion. Dude, I know, but like a large portion of my YouTube videos are all gone because they cringed me out. They cringed me out.
You gotta list those back. I will literally pay you a pay-per-view for them. No, I'm serious, bro.
Dude,
bring at least the national videos back, man. Like,
I was a hooligan, was I not? Just answer that. Was I a hooligan?
Yeah, and you also loved Reuben Randle, so let's talk about that. So okay, listen, I get it, bro. I PC Boogie, like, but it was something different. Like, I didn't care that he was injured.
He's a borderline Hall of Famer.
Bro, he's my boy, and like, let me ask you this.
How is this fair?
Hey, okay, listen. No. I'm not roasting you. So Reuben Randle, was that like the main guy that you like centered your collection around? I'm honestly curious.
So pretty funny story here. Reuben Randle was the first Giants player I pulled out of a pack in 2012, hit-wise. And I watched him play at LSU. I went to my local card store.
He was good.
He was solid. And I went to my local card store, and I sat there, and it was a pack of 2012 SPX. And I'm thinking Russell Wilson. Like, I'm thinking Andrew Luck. I'm thinking all these RG3, because RG3 was on fire.
Do you remember how expensive his autographs were? Remember how expensive RG3 was? Unbelievable. Nuts. It was like Lamar Jackson.
Dude, it was crazier than Lamar. Like, RG3 stuff at its peak was hitting like 1,000 or 1,200 back in 2012. That's wild. Like, I remember back in 2012, a Mike Trout refractor Bowman Chrome 9510 was $2,000. $2,000. So with this story though, right? So I bought a pack of SPX, and I'm sitting there like, oh, I can ball this crazy stuff. It's going to be lit. I was starting to do raffles like in 2012 on Blog TV and on Justin TV. So I'm thinking like resell city, baby. It's flipping season. But it was more so, we'll see what we get. So I opened the pack. It's Reuben Randle, and I'm like, didn't this kid just get drafted by the Giants? And I'm like, all right, let me see. And I remembered him from LSU, and I'm like, oh, he's raw. And then I was able to watch him play. And I got to be honest here, Reuben Randle may have been like Tyler Boyd before Tyler Boyd was Tyler Boyd. No opportunities, no real shots. When he gets his shots, he makes the best out of them. But I really just, I don't know, like it was just more so, wow, I pulled this guy's autograph. I have to PC him now. Like that was my mindset at what year? 2012. So I was 16, 17-year-old Ben was, I have to PC him. If I pulled the Giants autograph, I'm PCing him for the rest of the year. And it just went on from there.
Bro, I'll be real with you. That happened to me. I don't talk about it, but there were side PCs. Kendall Hunter on the 49ers.
Bro.
And then Mo Harkless and then Tobias Harris. I pulled their autographs and I was like, I kind of like these guys. And Al-Farouq Aminu.
God.
I put them in a timeless treasures tin from the LCS, and I'd be like, oh man, I get more, and it would be fun. I will say this: if you don't have a PC or if you PC, you know this feeling when you like pull each card of the player and you like out of like a box, and you're like, okay, yeah, I got all these second year base, third year base. It's cool. Something's cool about it.
It's like honestly, I miss those days. I miss the pure enjoyment I would find. Like this. When you could find a DeMarcus Cousins you didn't have, bro.
People at the shows, they come up. They come up to me and hand me the guy just like in Miami, just like handed me a DeMarcus Cousins, just a stack of cards. Like, bro, I brought these just for you. Here you go. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, let me pay you. And the guy said, no.
And that's the sick part about it.
But who's your PC? I just wish. Do you have like another PC?
I do. I am a huge, for people who don't know this, I am a huge Texas A&M fan. Huge. Like, monumental. Like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have the Manziel. I took a picture of Manziel last time he was in Chicago.
I like that
But
guy.
I'm a huge, huge A&M fan. Huge. Like, I'm talking about
Von Miller.
Bro, I'm talking about Steve McGee and Mike Goodson. That's who I'm talking about. 08. Like, guys that I loved it. And obviously Vaughn, and when Ryan Tannehill was a great receiver too.
Dude, that guy is solid. I think I listened to your podcast. He just needed to play for the right team.
And that was my whole point, because people always hated on him.
He's fucking good.
He's solid. And people never understood, like, and not to go off topic, but a lot of people who struggle with football investments understand this. If you don't have an offensive line, you don't have a team. So when you start to not understand, why isn't Jalen Hurts crazy? Why isn't Tua crazy? Why isn't Kirk Cousins crazy? Excuse me. Wow, I'm actually blasted on this podcast. I have like 6 beers in me. God bless you, Jay. Anyway, authentic Ben, baby. Post Malone vibes. But my point on it, though, is that a lot of these guys don't have a team around them. Darnold. Bro, I lost so much money on Darnold. Please don't. If you're watching this, do your research. Do your research. No hate. Do not buy Sam Darnold. My personal perspective. I lost so much money on Sam Darnold, dog.
What about Zach Wilson?
Dude, I gotta be real with you. So this is I love you, bro. All right. I'm so excited to be on this podcast. But my point of Zach Wilson, right? The Jets are such an interesting team in the pure sense of, will they actually do something, or will they just be completely raw cheeks? And when you have, a solid offensive line, you have Becton, guys that are nitty-gritty in the trenches and can actually push for yards. You have a solid receiving core, nothing crazy and nothing good in my personal opinion. Like I would put them 4th in the AFC East for receivers, behind the Patriots. I'll take N'Keal Harry. I'm sorry. And I know people are going to say blasphemy. I'm sorry. But with Zach Wilson, like, he has the most punchable face in sports. And just based off that, it's either going to be super boom or super bust. I'm not a believer in the Jets. Even if Darnold stayed there, I really don't see a value in that team. Just knowing that the Bills are the Bills, the Dolphins are on their way up, and the Patriots are the Patriots, still can probably pull out an 8-8 season and be nitty-gritty during the division. I don't see the Jets winning, and I also don't understand why prices would be up super high. Another guy to talk about, Justin Herbert. Look at the Chargers. We're talking about the same scenario where
Herbert's expensive.
And great example. So we talk about, the 13th pick 2 years ago, whatever. The Buccaneers drafted Tristan Wirfs, all-pro
That guy's a
offensive lineman.
beast. I love that guy.
In my personal opinion, he's probably going to be a Hall of Famer just based off his rookie season.
He's a baby too.
He's 21. 21. Like, him and Quentin Nelson are going to be the Marshall Yanda and the what's another great lineman of our younger days. But regardless, Steve Hutchinson, cool. There's a left guard for you. But with Justin Herbert, like, if you look at the buy-ins, we're talking about $4,000 or $5,000 for a lot of stuff that, if we're talking about a year, 2 years ago, was like $500-$600 graded. So if we're talking about a $4,000 or $5,000 buy-in, what do you really want it? Where do you expect that card to be? Do you think it could actually double? And if you look at the market and you look at the way people buy things, market cap, growth, liquidity, all of these other stock terms that are now playing into sports cards, a $5,000 buy-in means what? That means Super Bowl champion, MVP, and ends up becoming like next Patty Christ. If Justin Herbert doesn't do all four of those, that card does not double, it does not make you money, and it should not go up.
You could buy Brady.
So guys like Brady,
or Mahomes, even the Mahomes optic, it's $1,800. It's low.
So here's my personal opinion on it. If we're talking about like old base, those will go up in time. We don't have a Topps Chrome. We don't have a Topps Chrome refractor. We don't have a lot of true cards that a lot of guys love that Brady has. Obviously his Bowman Chrome, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but things of that nature. So Mahomes will rise eventually, in my personal opinion. Obviously, he needs to outperform last season, which is going to be hard. And he also will have the looming factor over his head that he never beat Tom Brady. And if they don't have a repeat matchup and he wins that one, and then people are going to be like, all right, we need a third. And if Brady ends up not getting there, then is Mahomes technically better than Brady if we're talking about actual hardware?
Yeah, I get that.
So, and my point on the investment side of things is that you will see select base, optic base, and prism base grow over years. That's my personal opinion.
It's just going to take time.
But yeah, exactly. Well, big shout out. Took time.
So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something since we're on this note. This is going to be kind of an interesting question. Okay, so obviously Herbert's up here. I'd say there's three guys I'll bring up right now: Tua, Jalen Hurts, and Burrow.
Okay.
Everyone's deciding right now. I've experienced it at the show. People are like, okay, these three guys are the ones we want to buy. Less Tua. In order it goes Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and then Tua. In terms of what people they want to try to take a chance. Out of those three, right, are those good buys, or is there obviously one of them's not going to make it, right?
Burrow. Burrow's the only buy out of those three. So my personal opinion is this, is that you get Jamar Chase over to the Dolphins. I forget what else they did in the draft. I feel
they did that wide receiver from Alabama, didn't they? Waddle.
Was it Waddle? No, I'm tripping. Jamar Chase went to the Bengals. Waddle went to the Dolphins. They got
Waddle's
something
good,
else.
man.
Didn't they have another first-round pick or something like that?
Yeah.
I can't remember. But my point on it is this. Devontae Parker is a subpar receiver.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Fantasy gurus, people who are upset about it, I'm sorry. He's had since 2015 to prove himself, and Amari Cooper's in the same league. I'm sorry. Like, when are you going to be a top 5 receiver? When? And if it's not now, look at Diggs. Diggs did it.
Look at DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf.
I love that guy.
Devontae Adams, disgusting. Julio Jones, old, disgusting still. So if you're not in the same talks as those players, you failed. So Devontae Parker, I'm not hating on it. He can do work. He can receive. But we're not talking about an elite receiver, which means more pressure on Waddle from defenses. And if Waddle is more of a bust player, can't gain separation from hands, can't gain separation from quickness laterally, or even the ability to release off the line, if he gets stuck and jammed and Devontae is the next option, what else is on that offense? Mike Gesicki? Kyle Pitts went to the Falcons. So the offensive line is subpar. Austin Jackson, in my personal opinion, for the Dolphins is a solid player. But you have a bunch of ne'er-do-wells on your offensive line. No true good offensive line, no true good offense, more time on defense, less ability to stop them, and not a winning football team, my personal opinion.
What about Hurts?
So but I'll be honest. So with Tua, though, I see more of a boom, a higher ceiling than Hurts. So Devonta Smith gets drafted to the Eagles. Every Giants fan is upset. Understand this. I've watched Hollywood Brown, huge mega fan. Love him to death. Same point, same time point, all of these other things, timeline, chronologically, however we want to talk about it. The Eagles have Jalen Reagor, who is still looking like Nelson Aguilar. Devonta Smith just won the Heisman, looks tremendous, low weight, Hollywood Brown tendencies. Can he gain separation and be a physical receiver? Philly needs a true number one. They missed out on Jamar Chase based off of his physicalness and his ability to actually gain space. And now you're looking at Jalen Hurts throwing to Hollywood Brown, basically. Solid speed, solid hands, no body weight, possible injuries, all these other things like that. On your other side is Jalen Reagor and whoever else is on that receiving core. The offensive line is getting old. We got PED Lane Johnson, a bunch of guys who are always getting injured. You know, God bless Jason Kelsey holding it down. But how much more time do you need to see Miles Sanders get 800 yards a season? So in my personal standpoint, Joe Burrow having an ACL injury is your time to buy now. There's no reason not to buy him. He just got Jamar Chase. He has T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Yes, they lost A.J. Green. If Jamar Chase becomes a elite receiver and Joe Burrow is healthy, Joe Mixon is solid, the line got stronger during the offseason, defense is looking okay. It looks like, honestly, I mean, like, I'm not even capping. Like, we have Joe Burrow stuff just ready.
That's
just
good.
Ready.
I know. I want to pick up a couple things. All right.
I think he's
you know
such
what?
A smart buy.
That's a good take on that. I think that's going to help a lot of people because somebody did ask about that. One more question about one more player, and then I want to ask you like two final questions. All right.
Absolutely.
This is probably going to be a quick answer, but Tim Tebow, how do you feel?
You know, I look at the NFL as a business, and I've had a blessing and been very fortunate to have a lot of close friends be either in the league currently or had their tryout, didn't make their day, and now had to move on from football. It's a business. The fact that Tim Tebow has a job right now, let me play right guard. I'm down. Let me play right guard right now. I'll take whoever's spot. Give me the helmet. Give me the jersey. Put the captain patch on it. I don't care because the pure point of it is, what do you expect him to do? If we're talking about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, when he was in the league and relevant, yeah, he could be a Taysom Hill. He could be someone raw and nasty, but the NFL was not ready for him, and he got the raw end of the stick. However, the fact that he's gracing a roster position when there's guys fighting just to stay alive every day and guys who are trying to feed their families, who would love to play football every single day, they don't get an opportunity because of NFL politics. It's just like Little League, Pop Warner. The NFL is the same way.
Okay, so week 1, is he on the team?
No.
Okay.
No. I would honestly say this. If he is on that team, it is pure Urban Meyer bias. And I am disgusted not to bring politics into it. But if Tebow's in the league, sign Kaepernick up. My boy Rob Cam Cards can sling that thing. I'm telling you. Shout out to Robbie.
Rob.
He needs to be a quarterback. All right. You should be tight end, and my fat ass, formerly fat ass, should be on the line. That's what happens. That's what should happen.
Well, all right, we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about – this is huge. I'm excited to ask you this. We're going to talk about Garnett Sports Cards. What's the next 6 months? What's your game plan? Because you said you're going to get more plugged in. We want to see you at some shows. What do you see Garnett Sports Cards at? Like, what's your ceiling? What do you want to do? What are some goals that you want to, like, kind of reach this year?
So we always think about what's next. And – you know, I had a very successful card show, and I'm very blessed and thankful to all those a part, whether you were supporting in-house or from afar. And right now is to start producing a quarterly card show in upstate New York. That is 300 to 400 tables, corporate sponsors, and the ability to really network in a capital of New York where we all have to travel from upstate and go 3, 4, 5, 6 hours south just to hit some semi-decent card shows. I always was inspired to put on something that could really grow not only the community here, but grow my community outwards and get a lot of guys that have great collections into collecting on Instagram. And you know, the meeting went well with the college. I'm very, very excited about it. It's a big plan going forward. And that's really where I'm really focusing a lot of my time and effort into is really producing something that can go up against, not in a competitive way, but in the terms of something that someone wants to go to. So I would love to have an Albany card show be a Dallas, be a Houston, be a Chicago, be a Philly, be a Shriners in Massachusetts, you know, be something to connect this state truthfully together. I'm literally in the middle of everything. But this is not a promotion on the card show, but literally, like, I'm so blessed to have so many people help and support and come out and make things happen, because without you guys on Saturday, this meeting would not happen. So that's the big like fun, exciting thing is the card show quarterly, meaning we would probably have one December, April, August, and then December again, whatever the situation may be. Obviously,
that's a big move, man. I'm proud of you, bro. What about some other stuff? Do you want to do breaking again? Or are you kind of burnt out with that? Would you ever break again?
You know, it's crazy. I told myself I wouldn't. And it was a lot of stress, a lot of work. I was breaking before anyone else was breaking. It was me, Card Collector 2, South Texas Break, Snowy, a couple other guys. And the sorting yourself and sleeving and shipping and having people feel like they can talk to you some type of way. I'm from New York. You know, I'll let you sing and harmonize with Pop Smoke. Stop it with the disrespect. But, you know, like, I always wanted to go back to it. And I actually have something planned in the background right now to get heat checks to a social media page near you. I always thought about having a true group breakers page, like something out of Vaughn TV back in the day, for collectors that remember that. Breakers TV, things where people can connect with this Instagram Breakers community and be able to swipe through and gander all of the available breaks open and being able to watch that. And that was a conversation I had with Kentucky Basketball Cards, Jimmy, back in New York City, like 2000.
Jimmy's the man. I met him for the first time.
The lab. Jimmy, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jimmy's the lab.
Sorry, Jimmy.
I mean, I've had so many different opportunities to talk business with guys like Jimmy and his friends who are, capital investors or whatever the word is, and things like that, and talk and reach their minds. So breaking is something that I would love to come back to. I miss screaming heat check. And I would hopefully hope that someone out there misses me going crazy, pulling like Luka Prism rookies out of 7. I miss it. I miss being able to really be authentically Ben and being able to be here and at least have some fun breaking, since everyone and their mother wants to put gloves on. I'll do raw-handed. I'm sorry. Like, if you don't want me to put the glove condom on, I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I'm doing raw dog season. It is what it is. But breaks are coming soon. I'm super excited about that as well. But the
What about
6
the
months,
National?
man. Oh boy, people might not like my answer on this one, J baby. But this is my personal opinion. Chicago is rough. And this is why, in my personal opinion, I think I talked to you about this as well. They need to venture out of these 2 states, Chicago and Atlantic City, New Jersey and Illinois. There needs to be a focus on trying to get Houston, Dallas, LA, San Diego, Sacramento, somewhere involved into this process. Baltimore won't happen because of the riots. My first national I ever went to was in 2009 in Cleveland. The next one I went to was Baltimore 2012, then Chicago, then Atlantic City, then Chicago again, then Cleveland. It's been the same places. And with the national being in Chicago and with how strict the government is, obviously Philadelphia, Pennsylvania just opened up. They're trying to open up more. A lot of places are Maryland's starting to open up more. Cali. Did y'all open up? I forget.
June 15th. June 15th, we don't have to wear masks anymore.
So
we were like the last wave, though. When I went to Dallas, people were like, it was crazy. Like, I was like, I wore a mask again. Like, our governor was like, it was really strict.
Same way.
What are you thinking? Are you trying to say it's not going to happen or what?
The bomb's dropping, baby.
I knew it.
Based off of my contacts. I mean, I set up.
I hope you're wrong.
The national. I do too. I'm hoping, boys. I need it. I need the brother time. But I always look at things as, control what you can control and expect the unexpected. So the unexpected to me personally is Chicago, Illinois. I say Chicago meaning Illinois. Illinois is a very strict state. They're the last to do anything. They're getting government funded from COVID. It's the same thing like New York, same thing like California. You experience it, I experience it. Everything took forever based off of a lot of southern states opening up. And it's always wear masks and don't go outside, maintain social distancing and all this other stuff. Illinois is just like that. So when you're looking at a venue that does a huge car show, and that's canceled, huge car show, bro.
Like you're talking
millions of dollars.
Like vehicles?
Vehicles, like millions of dollars in cars, like millions. And they're all souped up and stuff. If those are getting canceled and people are auctioning and buying cars at that show in the same place Nationals being done, and the way the people that I personally know, my contacts, because I've been setting up at the Nationals since 2017 and working the show and making money, they can't even give me an answer. And the show is what? June, July, 2.5 months away. They have no answer of what's going to happen. If you look at social medias, it's not being updated. It's always the same jargon of, we're going to try our best to update you as soon as we get the updates. Illinois is not going to allow, in my personal opinion, millions or hundreds of thousands, if we're talking minimum scale, of people from all around the world who could be vaccinated or not vaccinated or whatever the situation may be, and allow them to harbor underneath a hub in a huge city, a huge travel city in the United States. Yeah. And that's why you see Chantilly canceled in Virginia, a lot of other stuff in Chicago canceled. People can't do gatherings above 15, 20 people still. And I would love, Jay, I would love to see in July Nationals is happening.
If it does happen, will you go?
Yes, I'm there. I never miss the National. I'll be set up.
All right. I feel that.
100%.
We'll see. All right. Well, hey, we're going to see what happens. But, hey, man, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for your time, bro. You're spitting some facts. We had a good time, right?
Absolutely, brother. I would love to do another one.
100%, bro. We'll talk some more topics, 100%. You can find him on Instagram at Garnett Sports Cards. You can find me on Instagram at Mojo Autographs. That's episode 10 of the podcast. Thank you so much, Ben.